Sneakers. We all wear them. Whether we wear sneakers to work out, to be fashionable, or simply to protect our feet from the ground, everyone at one point of their life has bought a pair. But do you love sneakers? Is it your passion? Are you part of the culture? Every pair has a story to tell, so let's hear the people tell their story about the rise of the current phenomenon of sneakers. This is Soul and Tell. We sat down with sneaker lovers throughout the city to get their take on how sneaker culture used to be in the past, where it is now, and where they think it will be going in the future. Before we explore the industry, we must first see what sneaker culture means to them.
So the sneaker culture to me is, I feel like it's just like a niche group of people that have a love for art, for hip hop, for music just in general. And I feel like you're able to bring that all together in one piece, you know what I'm saying? But the culture of it, you're able to connect with people that you probably never were able to connect with. People from all walks of life, different parts of the country, different parts of the world.
Sneaker culture is like this thing that just like came, like just being a part of like the, lining up and, Jordans on Saturdays and just something that from childhood that just has stuck. And it's, a thing to me that is cool to be a part of.
It's the love for sneakers, for kicks. Searching for the latest, searching for the oldest, the most exclusive, the different colors, the different fits. It's just, it's a whole subculture.
That's hard now because it changed so much. I guess I really don't like to follow the trends anymore. I'm usually right now I'm just trying to get what I used to want back in the day, what I couldn't afford. So that's what the culture means to me. Just going back to the past and grabbing what I can now before the price goes up again.
I feel like sneaker culture was more of like a hobby. Like it was a way of you and your friends all like the certain sneaker, or you guys would all go out buy sneakers together. And if you had a certain sneaker that your friend wanted, you guys would work out a trade, work out a sale. Or you guys would even like go post them on Facebook, like fit battles. I remember that used to be a big thing on Facebook.
I guess when I was younger, sneaker culture to me was more of like a community of people, because I feel like, younger kids used to wear sneakers and stuff like that. It wasn't really like necessarily an adult hobby.
Rocking whatever you think is hot, not what everybody else thinks is hot, but whatever you think is hot. That's what sneaker culture is to me.
I would say as far as just hip hop culture, a lot of people think hip hop is just rap music, but it's much bigger than that. It's your style, it's the way you dress. So I think sneaker culture is definitely derived straight from hip hop.
Sneaker culture is, I basically say it's what comes with the sneaker, not only like the design, the colorways, it's like what it brings out in a person, whether they outfit, it could be related to music, hip hop. A lot of the youth is into it, even older individuals that still collect to this day. So it's pretty broad.
Sneaker culture is hectic. It's overwhelming sometimes, but it's fun. You meet new people. It keeps you on your P's and Q's. You're always, waiting for the next release, next drop, next restock, and trying to meet, your next plug, whatever case may be, but it's something that's like, is beautiful.
Personally, to me, what sneaker culture is, for me at least, or what I liked about it, was how people came together for like a common interest. You know what I'm saying? We all like clothes. We all like fashion, we all like connecting on something we like deeper than just like conversation. It's like you can wear an outfit and someone can acknowledge, like, I know where you got that. That's dope, that's clean, So sneaker culture is a community of people who like connect on like art through clothing.
The hype of sneakers started with hip-hop artists and professional basketball players signing with and endorsing brands such as Nike and Adidas. Signature athlete shoes allowed the average person to be like their favorite player, while the rise of hip-hop gave sneakers street cred. Since then, sneakers started to develop into its own subculture. People were going through extreme measures to cop sneakers that they loved, except how they used to cop sneakers in the past was much different than how we cop sneakers today.
Back in the day, it was more like,
you wanted the sneakers because you wanted to be like the athletes that wore them. You know, like you saw Jordan wearing this, you wanted that because he's everybody's idol growing up. Same thing with other athletes.
With the Jordans in particular, the start of the year would have like the standard color. Then the halfway through the season is the All-Star. They would release like the alternate color. Like you would get like the Carolina blue. And then for the playoffs, black. I remember them coming out, black socks, black, whatever year, and the black version of that. So you didn't even know they were coming out until you seen them on TV or you seen them in a magazine, which was rare. Or seen them in a commercial real quick. And you had to wait until the player actually wore them. And like, oh, whoa, look at it. And you couldn't even pause the TV to look at it. So you'd be like, yo, what is he wearing? You have to like zoom in. I gotta get those.
10 years ago, sneaker culture was not mainstream. You had your diehard sneakerheads who were outside waiting, who knew what was coming out. You had to talk to such and such. You even had to go to mom and pop shops to talk to such and such. They'd be like, yo, I got you. It's in the back. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't got it at this Foot Locker, but Foot Locker in Queens might have it. Foot Locker in Jamaica might have it. Foot Locker in Long Island. So you actually had to travel borough to borough to see what Foot Locker or what store might have whatever.
You had to like pick up a phone book and call them like, hey, you have this in this size, hold them for me, I'm gonna come now. And I didn't have a car back then. Bus, train, that's a journey for teenager.
Everybody used to clown sneakerheads because they'd be like, oh, you're gonna go wait in line for like 4 hours just to get one pair of sneakers. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Sell them, wear them? Like, you're not gonna make any money off of it. So it was like, back then, like everybody used to clown us because we used to wear what we wanted and we used to go to the most, to the extreme to get like a pair that we actually wanted.
Back in the day when you used to cop sneakers, I used to wait in line. You was waiting in line for all this stuff. Like these right here, these are the artist series. This came out at Nike Town in like 2005 or something. But you needed to line up at Nike Town for these. Just Nike Town. You can't even get them online.
Back then, I would normally just go on release day. It wasn't that hard to buy, to get some J's or some Nikes. It wasn't that hard. Camping out, I felt like it had to be a real exclusive pair. And I would travel to different stores to get like what I wanted, but it wasn't hard for me to get a pair in my size.
It was totally different from today. If there were any raffles, there weren't any, apps where you had to, go in the store and literally check in and get a check-in code. There weren't any bots. I'm pretty sure they were backdooring, but not to that extent. Pretty much if you saw a sneaker and they know you, like the sneakers in my neighborhood, they know me since I was, probably 4 or 5 years old. Then they would say, hey, listen, we have X, Y, and Z. You want them now, take them. And it was easy, that's when models would carry Jordans and you could get a sneaker 4 or 5 in the afternoon, 1, 2, 3 pairs if you wanted. But, and it was for the most part, it was safe. It was safer back then.
With the rise in popularity of sneakers, more people were trying to cop pairs, which led to big companies such as Nike and Adidas to change the way they release their products.
Now sneaker culture has exploded to so many different avenues that you have no choice but to try to keep up.
It evolves every day, I swear to God. Like yesterday was Yeezy Day. And like every hour they were dropping different Yeezys and stuff, and I waited for certain ones I wanted. I texted like 13 people and I said, yo, these Yeezys they're out at this hour. Everyone try for it.
Pretty much any store that's in New York City, they have an app. So you fill out the apps, you fill out your information, the size you want, the colorway, and they'll notify you via email or they give you a phone call.
How did these changes impact sneaker culture?
Growing up, I didn't feel like it was this hard to cop sneakers the way it is now. Like, sometimes it feels like nearly impossible. Like, when I was growing up, it's like you go to the store, you get your sneakers. Like, now it's just so, I don't want to say like oversaturated, but it's just like, it's like so many people are turned on by the sneakers that it's like impossible to kind of cop the things that you want. And of course, the way they release is a lot harder. The whole raffle thing, like, I don't really like the whole raffle thing. Honestly, I'm more of a person like first come, first serve, because that's just how I am. But I would say, yeah, like the way you cop and just like how much people really want it more now. To me, it makes it harder for people like that really want this stuff. So, and the whole resale game, like I don't know if it was always like that, but it just seems like so that really seems oversaturated. Like everyone wants to just buy everything and just resell it.
It's definitely more complicated. If you don't have a plug, as they would say, or you're not cool with any, sales associate or manager or something like that, or if you don't have luck on your side, then it's pretty much impossible. Especially if it's first come, first serve, that's even worse. And first come, first serve, meaning you can just walk in the day of release and purchase your pair, but then that's when you have people waiting outside. If the store opens at 10 a.m., you have people waiting there literally 8 a.m. sometimes, depending on how hyped the release is or how much money is involved in the resale of that shoe.
Back in the day, you could line up at a store, first come, first serve, like maybe get there at 8 a.m., they open at 10, and you could have got your own pair or whatever, and you could have went back in line, came back, and then just keep doing the same thing, looping it. But now it's like, you can't even do that because there's so many people in the social media has everybody knowing where the spot's at and where to go get first come, first serve sneakers. So it's like, it's hard to go. You can't put all your eggs into one basket.
The ease of obtaining that sneaker that you want. It's so easy to get it now. And now you can get it in several colors. Like you'll have one sneaker with like a dozen different colorways. Or you could even go to Nike ID and they have a certain color and you could just make it from scratch.
It's all about Foot Locker. If you see what they have now, it's so easy. Like you just go to the app and they'll tell you where the sneaker is at. But back in the day, you actually had to be on a hunt. You had to go places. You had to talk to people. I think it takes some of the people who are real sneakerheads. I think it takes some of that and out of the game because now anybody can get it. Joe Blow on the block can get it because they just see it coming up on the app or on Instagram.
As of today, the sneaker industry is $55 billion and growing. The high demand of collaborations between sneaker companies and celebrities was another thing that helped boost the sneaker industry.
I think once a celebrity touches certain sneaker, depending on who the celebrity is, it just skyrockets.
Collaborations between sneaker companies and individuals isn't something new. While we've seen collabs in the past with many basketball players, we are now seeing sneaker companies work with celebrities from all different types of industries.
And now it's really a lot about collabs. Within the past couple of years, Nike and Adidas, they've been collabing, even Asics, they've been collabing with so many different companies, and they're releasing so many different sneakers that have been out in the past, are still out, but just a different colorway that has never been thought of, or an idea that hasn't been put together that they're able to put together.
Nowadays, it's actually shifted more towards like rappers and celebrities endorsing sneakers. Like that's where a lot of the hype comes from now. So a guy like Travis Scott, like whenever his sneakers come out, boom, that gets more hype than anything like Jordan or Nike or whatever they'll do, because it's a collaboration and it's rare and limited.
I feel like these major brands are recognizing that like music beyond athletes, like musicians, artists, they have like a major influence and they have their own cult following. So allowing the artists to like use a sneaker as their canvas, I feel like that's where we're going with it. I think it's a great thing that they're allowing people to be creative on the sneaker that's not just an athlete. So I think it's great.
We'll see changes because of Kanye West and his Adidas Yeezy line. They've really opened the doors for other designers to like play around with designs they probably were looked up at as only concepts. The whole Yeezy line just has been different. So I think because of that, we'll see different kind of sneakers with crazy designs that will, sell.
Kanye made his own like lifestyle, his own culture with Yeezy and Adidas, and people who wear Yeezys are like, they're like part of his, I wouldn't say cult, but they're like a Kanye following, they love that stuff.
Virgil, the top 10, because it's like he changed everything up. It's like from what he did, like he deconstructed it, like all these different new materials on like original pairs. Like it was just crazy what he did, and it was like how he put his own touch onto it, and now everybody's like still coming off of the, like it died down a little bit, the hype, but it's like still coming off of what he did. Everybody's still trying to like copy it.
Not only is that changing ideas and designs of these sneaker companies, but it's also bringing two worlds together.
A lot of the hype comes from athletes or celebrities like rappers, entertainers like Drake, DJ Khaled, Kanye, even Pusha T, Rihanna, even. It's a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because they bring their following over to the sneaker culture, so you have more people that want to purchase that shoe or becomes interested in sneaker collecting or reselling from that point.
Yeah, that's true too, because you might have, let's say, a Travis Scott fan, but he's not a Michael Jordan fan. So he might want to cop the Travis Scotts just based on, because he's a Travis Scott fan. Or vice versa. Someone might be a Jordan fan, but never heard of Travis Scott. And now they cop those just because, you know what I mean? So the collab, you get the fans from one particular genre, the hip hop, and then the basketball heads, and then they collab, and now they off each other.
As the sneaker industry becomes more diverse, companies are now battling to sign the next big celebrity to help reach these new markets.
Everything has like a connection to it, and it's all because people have made it popular in their own ways, Like the same way you see like, you know what I mean, like Kendrick wearing a pair of Cortezes. Now everyone's wearing Cortezes. It's like there's so much brand influence with like a person or like a community wearing something.
It's even crazy. The game is like they're competing with each other now. So it's like you look at Adidas and you look at Nike, and they're drafting people, if you could say. They're like Nike drafted Virgil, and like now Nike drafted Travis Scott. Jordan got Drake. Kanye's with Adidas, and it's crazy. It's like if you watch it, it's kind of like a little war. Who could get the illest collaborations with the illest people, and it's cool. Like everyone loves it. Everyone eats it up. I love it too. Like when a collab comes out, I'm like, man, that's a good collab.
However, not all sneaker enthusiasts are sold on the hype.
I feel like nowadays the culture is so saturated with like collabs and influencers that like sneakers like cool grade 4s, there's still shit sitting on shelves. So it's like nobody wants the sneakers that are like just basic Jordans, basic GE releases. Like everybody wants the collabs. Everybody wants certain rappers or certain influencers to just join a sneaker culture.
I feel like it's more from the bottom up. I feel like the influence is from us, really. I guess like artists and like musicians and celebrities and stuff influence the culture because they can have those more high ticket items.
Yeah, they have luxury of buying that.
Exactly, and they could put out like more luxury styles. But I think in terms of like style and like ready to wear, it's really coming from us.
Yeah.
And like I feel like most of them wouldn't even be dressing like that if it wasn't for the places that they came from. So
yeah, because you know how like stylists pick up stuff from us and then trickle it down to celebrities and stuff. So I really do feel like it's from us. Like I would buy a pair because I see somebody on the street wearing it, not a celebrity or anything like that.
Another change we are currently witnessing in today's sneaker culture is the rise in women in the industry.
I remember when Vashti did with her first Jordan collab that she did, and I thought that was so dope that I had never heard of them giving a girl a collab.
We are seeing more collaborations and exclusive drops for women.
A lot more women are into sneakers, a lot. Like sometimes more women than men, and sometimes the women, they get mad when I don't have their size, I'm sold out. And then, like I said, you have more female sneakerheads that are like entertainers or celebrities that influence more women or younger girls to get into sneakers. Even with like Rihanna, she's huge. So when she had the Puma line, she has the Puma line, when she came out with the slippers, the creepers, like they were selling out left and right. So that influenced a lot more female sneakerheads.
Whenever we have people come over, we have like a group of friends, I have noticed that like when they talk to, because they know about like how my love for sneakers, and then they see my son too, because he has his own little Instagram. They'll go to my boyfriend first and ask him about it, and my boyfriend be like, oh, that's like all her. So they already have this like thought that it's all him, that he's the one that like styles our son or gets the sneakers, and like I just tag along. My boyfriend's always like, no, that's like all Jen. She's the one that's all into that. And then they're surprised to like switch the conversation to me, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm the one that likes sneakers.